You guys might see that I'm going to post this video now and that the newsletter won't be out yet, but I'm going to email you all the newsletter all together. I'm just going to post this video on Patreon now. Before I get started in the Patreon, I just want to let you guys know that what I'm telling you guys, what I'm showing you guys here, is not. I'm not giving you picks. I'm not saying you should pick this, you should buy that. I'm going to mention a couple altcoins, but that doesn't mean you should go buy them. That would be very irresponsible. Just because I'm telling you something doesn't mean you should do it. I'm just a guy on the internet. So, always do your own research. No matter what I say right now, I don't think it's a good time to buy Bitcoin or altcoins at this moment in time. I'm here to talk about the technology, guys. I'm here to get in depth about the technology. I'm not here to talk about, picks. Oh, buy this and you'll make money. Buy that and it'll go up 10x. Like I'm not interested in that, guys. So I'm sorry if some of you joined thinking that I'm gonna give you like altcoins to buy. I mean, if you've been listening to my channel to any capacity, you know that that's not what I do. I don't promote shitcoins. So if you guys subscribe to the Patreon because you thought I was going to give you altcoin picks to buy, I'm sorry. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm sorry if you felt misled in that way. That's not what I'm doing here, guys. I'm not an altcoin pick. If you want that kind of stuff, go look at Supoman and altcoin channels and all that stuff. Those guys will tell you what shitcoins to buy. I'm not going to be the guy that tells you to buy a shitcoin. So anyway, guys, let's get right into the video. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin, and you are watching another edition of the iTradeCrypto Patreon. Guys, thank you so much for all the new patrons who have joined. It means a lot. Really glad to see that this community is growing, even in these bearish times when the market is really not doing that much interesting stuff right now. Everything seems to be pretty stagnant. The energy that the crypto market had, half a year ago, or more, a little over half a year ago, that energy is just not here anymore. And it kind of just goes to show what I've been saying on my channel is true, and that this is a speculative market. It's a market that's based on almost purely speculation, and it is, it does show all the signs for a bubble, right? When prices go up, people get excited, and all of a sudden, when the prices go up, blockchain becomes the next greatest thing, and then when the prices go down, it's the worst thing ever, right? So this industry really has just been running on the fuel of hype and just emotion, total FOMO, FUD, just all this crazy emotional activity that is reflecting in the charts. We can see the emotion is clearly reflecting in the charts with just these insane up and downs. Now, guys, I talk a lot about Bitcoin. My channel is pretty much only about Bitcoin, right? So, I'm always talking about Bitcoin prices. I'm talking about, what does Bitcoin really have value? So that kind of brings me to what I want to talk about today, and that is, what is Bitcoin's true value? What price point? Is it even possible to put a price on Bitcoin? Is there a way to calculate the price that Bitcoin should actually be? And the answer is pretty much no. You can't. There are no. When you talk about fundamentals for Bitcoin, the fundamental stuff, fundamentals really, it's not news. News isn't fundamentals, guys. News is news. Okay, so you can't say that a news article is the fundamental side of Bitcoin, because that's just not true. News is news. Fundamentals are fundamentals. And the fundamentals of Bitcoin really come down to just the, first off, obviously the protocol, how the blockchain secures itself is important. Does it work? Okay, that's the fundamental thing. Obviously, Bitcoin works. Bitcoin is the world's first proof that blockchain technology actually works. And so you have that. What is another fundamental thing for Bitcoin? It would be like usage and demand. And it seems to me that the usage and the demand really just reflect the price, and people are, when the price goes up, people are transacting with Bitcoin to send it to and from exchanges, because that's pretty much all it's used for nowadays, is just sending to and from exchanges from this wallet to that wallet. And it seems like that overall Bitcoin isn't really being used in the way that it's supposed to be used. It's more just speculation, as I'm talking about now. The only reason I'm talking about this is really just to show you guys why the market is so volatile. These reasons kind of build up to that idea that, okay, you know, this is why the market is so crazy and volatile, because Bitcoin isn't really being used for real, you know, commerce. It's more just speculation. That's why the prices are going up and down constantly, because, you know, people's interest is based on Bitcoin's price. So Bitcoin's price creates interest, or decreases interest if it's going down. At the same time, I am saying, yes, I don't believe Bitcoin is really being used in the way that it should be. But at the same time, I have to realize that there is no real right way to use Bitcoin. You can't say to someone, well, you can't use Bitcoin like that. You're not allowed to use Bitcoin like that, because anybody can do whatever they want with their Bitcoin. They can use it as whatever they want. If they want to use it as a store of value, they can do that. They can leave their Bitcoin in their wallet and hodl it, you know, until they die, like, right? So you can use Bitcoin as a payment system, as a store of value, and all these things, and that's what makes Bitcoin so great. But the problem is that we're not seeing real usage. So, you know, without usage, it's more difficult to grow the network without real usage. That's why the prices are going so crazy. But anyway, guys, so that's, like, you know, I'm just kind of going on about Bitcoin right now. But so in this edition of the Patreon, a lot of you guys, the number one request I've gotten over the past few months, really, has been altcoins. Kevin, what altcoins? Kevin, tell me the altcoins. I want to know what altcoins are going up. What's going to be the next big one? How am I going to make 1,000x? What coin will get me 10,000x? How can I become rich? Calm down. Okay, guys? I am going to talk about altcoins, okay? And I think a lot of you have sort of been misled to believe that I'm going to give you guys altcoin picks. Like, you guys think that I'm going to give you coins that you should buy right now, and then, oh my God, don't miss out. Like, no, guys, I am not doing that, okay? I'm not going to tell you to buy anything. I am not a financial advisor. I am not giving you financial advice. I'm doing this for educational and entertainment purposes only. If you want to invest in something, if you want to buy something, you have to do the research. You have to make the decision, not me. I am not your advisor. This guy, not your advisor, okay? So it is super important that if you're going to invest in blockchain technology, you got to know at least a little bit of what you're really investing. You got to at least know, you got to have some sort of idea of what you're investing in. And that's what I'm going to do for you now, is bring in this whiteboard right here. So I hope you can see that. Okay. So let's just make this very simple. Okay. So you guys can see this right here. All right. So the way, basically, at its simplest form, this is kind of, again. So again, guys, what I'm about to do here is not a perfect representation of how a blockchain works. What I'm trying to do here is I'm going to oversimplify the entire thing so that you can sort of have something to just imagine in your head that helps you understand the technology, okay? So essentially, it's just a series of information that's lining up to make sure that everything that came before it, actually everyone agrees that everything that came before it makes sense. It's tracking all the inputs of every transaction, of every address, and all these things. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. It is not this simple, but this is essentially, you know, you're just matching up the hash values on each block to make sure that everything before it came, it makes sense and that everyone agrees on it. So guys, a lot of you are asking me about smart contracts, and I think that I can pretty confidently say that I think that smart contracts are going to be the biggest sector in cryptocurrency, other than, of course, your currencies and privacy coins, right? I think you know, smart contracts eliminate the need for a lot of jobs, and that's a good thing for big corporations, right? They will eliminate the amount of employees they have by using smart contracts. Now, a lot of you guys are probably wondering, like, yeah, I know about smart contracts, but like, what really is it? Like, you know, I'm not sure how much experience you guys here have with cryptocurrencies, so I'm just going to go ahead and get you guys up to speed, you know, as fast as I can and as painless as I can into the things that I know, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing here. You know, smart contracts, if you guys don't already know what a smart contract is, I can explain it here, right? So we talked about the blockchain, right? So it's just a series of ledgers that are organizing itself to make sure that everyone agrees on everything that came before it, so that there's no manipulation happening. All the information is true, and everybody values the information. Because when you're exchanging Bitcoin, guys, you're just exchanging the history of transactions. You're just exchanging pieces of data of the entire history of the blockchain. That's literally what Bitcoin is. But smart contracts, guys, what is a smart contract? So if you guys imagine, I'm sure you guys already know, of course you have a wallet, right? So let's just say you have a wallet, which is essentially an address. All right, you have an address and you have your private keys, right? So your address is controlled by your private key. So the key that you know in your head, the secret key, that's what controls your address and your wallet. That is the control mechanism for your wallet, is your private key, your password, essentially, right? So this is what controls a wallet, your private key, PK. I'm just gonna say private key, right? So your private key controls your wallet, right? So guys, a smart contract. So what a smart contract is essentially a wallet, right? Or an address. Smart contract, guys, here. So a smart contract is essentially a wallet or an address, okay? Except that this wallet or address, your wallet is controlled by your private key. A smart contract, guys, is the same thing as an address or a wallet, except it's controlled by a contract. It's controlled by a protocol, or it's controlled by a piece of code that will execute the whatever is written here. So your wallet, the wallets that we use, are controlled by a private key, but smart contracts are controlled by a contract. So instead of this being a private key, a private password, it's a contract. So if you were to send money to this, right, you send your Ethereum, let's just say this is a smart contract on the Ethereum platform. If you send Ether into this, whatever you send in is going to be run through this contract, and then it's going to spit it out whatever the contract is, right? So this contract can be anything, right? Anything that's written on here. So right now we're talking about smart contracts. So you have a smart contract, right? And like I said before, it's like a wallet, except it's controlled not by a private key. It is controlled by a contract or a code, okay? So let's just say this is our smart contract right here. And it's controlled by this code right here, okay? So this right now, this has a set outcome. This smart contract, a set outcome. If you put money in here, it's gonna run it through this and it's gonna spit it out, okay? So my question is, if you guys understand what a smart contract is now. So my question is, what's the next step to a smart contract? How do you make this better, right? Because right now it's just a wallet that's controlled by an outcome, a code, right? So right now a smart contract is really no different than a vending machine, okay? Like a vending machine, right? Something like this where you just, you put your money in, your money goes in, and then your food comes out. Right? So I don't know if you guys can see that, but a vending machine, you know what a vending machine is? It's like you put the money in and the food comes out, or the drink comes out, whatever it is. That's what a smart contract is, guys. You put the money in and it spits out the result. How do you make a smart contract better? Well, you make it smart. You let it interact with outside data, okay? So instead of this contract being this, we can have a variable in here, right? A variable. So in here, this variable can now be connected to an outside oracle. So the way that I think you can improve smart contracts is by creating variables in the smart contract that change the outcome of the smart contract. So you can have outside data interacting with a smart contract. So in your smart contract now, you have a variable that's controlled by outside data, something that comes from somewhere else. A trusted source of information is now controlling this variable in the smart contract. So now, instead of just being a smart contract, now the smart contract is interacting with outside data, right? There's other things flowing into the smart contract to make it smart, right? So that it can change, so that outside things that are happening in the real world can now be put into a smart contract. And one cryptocurrency that is doing that is Chainlink. If you guys look up Chainlink, they're doing this. They're creating ways for smart contracts, for decentralized applications to interact with the outside world, so that outside data can be put into a smart contract to make it smart, right? Rather than just having a set outcome, now you have outside data being put into the smart contract, which makes it a smart contract because things can change now. So that's just, that's my 2 cents, guys. So I know it's really complicated, and you might not even really followed that very well. That might have been really hard for you guys to follow, and I totally understand that. It's even hard for me to explain it. It's pretty difficult to explain in the first place. So of course, a lot of you guys aren't even from the U.S. Some of you guys don't even really speak that much English, so it might be hard to understand what I'm saying here. But guys, all in all, what I'm trying to do is I'm looking out for the evolution of crypto. How can crypto be improved? What can make it better? So I'm looking at specifically privacy coins, because the one thing about Bitcoin that's not really that great is that it's not private. A lot of people are getting into crypto because they want privacy, and Bitcoin does not give you privacy. You don't get privacy from Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin is not private. So, in terms of privacy coins, I'm looking at Monero. In terms of, smart contracts, it's kind of up in the air, guys. There's a lot of smart contract platforms out there, like Cardano, Ethereum, Quark, all kinds. There's so many, guys. There are so many smart contract platforms out there, but all in all, I think Ethereum is still number one. And I would trust Ethereum more than any other at this point still. Although here's the thing, guys. The reason why I'm not so crazy about buying into all of these coins right now, like Monero, like Ethereum, like Chainlink, like all these coins that are doing great things and have great ideas and great projects, the reason why I'm not so quick to buy in is because I think that major companies and major corporations will be able to achieve these things on their own. So I think a lot of major corporations are going to be using blockchain technology behind closed doors, privately, where no one can buy them, so that they have full control of them. That's what I think is going to happen. So I'm not too crazy yet to buy into all these coins, because I don't really see massive growth coming in that soon. I think that this industry needs to develop more, and once we have some real breakthroughs where companies really start using cryptocurrencies and smart contracts, once they really start to do that, then we might see some major growth. But right now, I don't think we're going to see major growth until companies really get to see the value of smart contracts and cryptocurrencies in general. I think before then, guys, we're not going to see all that much growth. And I'm not crazy about buying into these things right now, because it just, to me, it just doesn't make sense to buy into cryptocurrencies right now. I think we have probably a few more years before the industry actually gets to a place where you can confidently say, yeah, I'm going to invest in this. I'm going to put my money into this, and I'm going to see growth. I'm going to see returns. I don't think we're there yet, guys. I think we had this first, Bitcoin went up to 20,000. I think that was just phase one. And phase two is going to take a little while. I think it's going to take a couple of years. The industry will mature, and then phase two will come in when companies really start using this, right? And then I think phase three is going to be when, when the entire world is basically using cryptocurrencies. Not that it's going to be 100% crypto, not that at all. I'm saying that, like, maybe 1%, 5% of all transactions are cryptocurrency transactions in the world. So that, 95% are, normal bank fiat. But then I think, you know, in phase 3, I think is going to be more of a global integration of cryptocurrencies. But that's just my opinion, guys. Now, of course, I didn't really talk about prices because I'm not here to give you crypto picks right now. I'm not saying, oh, you should go buy this. That's not what I'm saying, guys. I don't think it's that simple, okay? Becoming a great investor and becoming rich off crypto is not that simple. It's not like, oh, this guy said this, so I'm gonna buy that. Oh, I just made $1 million. Guys, it's not like that. You have to be studying this, and that's why I'm making this. I want you guys to interact with me and tell me what you guys think about this, because it's not just about me. I want to know. I want to know what you guys think will make all of this valuable. What do you guys think is going to progress the industry? You know, some of you guys might know things that I don't know. So, you know, that's really what this is about. I want to teach you what I know so that you can teach me what I don't know, right? So if you guys want to, go ahead in the comments and leave some comments below. I know we didn't talk about price. I didn't talk about Bitcoin's price because, you know, I do all that on YouTube anyway. I'm just going some more in depth with, you know, how this industry can progress. So I know that this edition of Patreon was very technical. It was really detailed. You know, a lot of people out there are going to say to you, oh, I got this great crypto. Look at this. You should buy it now. And I'm not, guys, I know I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be the guy that says you should go buy this shitcoin and get you like all excited about it. Like, I don't want to do that. So I know that this was a very technical edition and, you know, I went into a lot of detail. But that's the nature of the game. We're talking about crypto. We're talking about blockchain, guys. We're not talking about, you know, go to the circus, go to the fair, and look at the pretty lights and like look at this cool website. Ooh, this cool name, guys. We're talking about the core of it here. We're talking about the core technology that we're looking at, so that we can fundamentally understand where this industry is going. Because we're talking, guys. When I'm talking about all this stuff here, all this technical stuff, that's fundamental. That's fundamental analysis, okay? That's what that is. So we need to really understand where this industry is going, how the technology works, and we need to spend less time, you know, pumping coins and trying to make a quick buck. We need to spend less time doing that, because I know that's what a lot of people want, but that's not what this industry should be about. This isn't about pump and dumps, guys. This is about, you know, figuring out where this industry is actually headed, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So I know you guys asked me about altcoins. Oh, what altcoins? What should I buy? What should I buy? I don't want you guys to buy anything. Don't buy anything yet, guys. Do your research. Do what I'm doing here. Figure out how these things work. And then you know, read the white papers. Actually, that's something I might do next time. Next Patreon edition, I might do, you know, how to read a white paper. That might be helpful, right? Let me know what you guys think about that. But anyway, guys, you know, I'm talking about the technology here. I want you guys to be good investors. I want you guys to be informed, as well as myself. And you know, I'm not going to be your Superman or somebody who's just going to tell you to buy a coin, okay? Because that's not what this is about. That's not what I'm about. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about, you know, actually understanding things. So guys, anyway, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed this edition of the iTradeCrypto Patreon. Go ahead, of course, and leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you hated it. Let me know if I should do anything different. Let me know if, you know, what I'm doing is fine. You know, this is only the second Patreon I've ever done. Right? So this is the second time I've ever done anything on Patreon. So I don't really know exactly if this is what you guys want. You know, just let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys want. I'm just going to keep bringing you guys what I think is valuable. And if you guys like it, you'll stick around. If you don't, you'll leave. Doesn't really matter to me. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for joining. And I will see you all in the next video, live stream, whatever it is that I create. And I will see you all there. So, you know, the video's over now, obviously. And I know a lot of you guys messaged me and you told me that you wanted me to talk about, you know, specific coins and all this stuff. And like, you know, after watching this video, you might now realize how complicated it all is. So if I was going to talk about one specific coin, it would take a lot of time. But you know, overall, guys, people are still in this mindset of like FOMO. You know, people are still thinking like, if I don't buy this now, it's gonna get away from me and I'm gonna lose out all this potential. Guys, even if you do miss out on the next 1000x gain, there's gonna be another one. There will always be another one. There will always be another trade. That is the motto that I live by the most, is that good trading opportunities are like trains. There's always another one coming. So you don't have to freak out, guys. I don't want to get too specific about certain coins, because then a lot of you guys might actually think that I'm suggesting to buy them, and that's not what I'm doing, guys. This is just the beginning of the industry. We have so much time. You know, of course, if there was a coin that I thought, wow, this is a game changer. This is going to change everything. This is going to be a huge grower. If that happens, guys, if I find that, of course, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you guys, you know, of course. But, you know, nothing like that has really come around yet. You know, when I first found out about Ethereum, it was about like 40 bucks. And at that point, I was kind of going crazy, telling everybody, oh, this is the next big thing, you should buy it. But of course, that was a lot of hype involved with that as well. But you know, guys, anyway, if something comes up, if I find a crypto that's amazing, I'm gonna tell you guys. I just don't think there's anything really worth going crazy about just yet. We just went through hype phase number 1. We're calming down out of it. And you know, when hype phase 2 comes around, you know, we'll have to, you know, we'll see what's up. We'll see what's going on at that time. But right now, guys, the industry is constantly changing. So just sit tight, relax, do some research, and you know, enjoy yourself, guys. So thank you all for joining this. I just wanted to do this last little message here. Anyway, guys, see you later.